up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to me midweek live news stream where I've just got some news items for us to have a look at. But before we start that, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Join me in the live chat if you're a subscriber. You can do that as well. And also throw me some money in the form of super chats and super thanks and all that stuff, because StreamYards are putting their prices up soon. So do that, and also go to my Patreon as well and become a member on the YouTube channel. And what else? Buy some merch. Not this merch. I mean, yes, you can buy this merch, but it's not my merch. This is Sci-Fi Quest merch. Anyway, but Josh Temple's here, thank goodness. Harpoon at the ready, obviously. Right, so let's get on with it, shall we? Let's get on with the news. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I should say? I can't remember. All the news that's fit to stream. Why is there something that's not fit? I don't know. But anyway. Anywho, right. So, by the way, we should be live on YouTube. Yes, we are. We should be live on Rumble. Hit refresh because it never just starts. You've got to faff about. Yeah, God knows. We're live on Twitch as well. Come on, is it going to work? Is it going to work? Are you coming on? Yes, right. We're live on Rumble as well. And Josh says he's going to be lurking in the shadows a bit. Harpoon glinting in the half light. Ready to pounce. Anyway, that's what we're going to say. The links for the articles we're going to read are in the description, and later on I'll put timestamps in and all that stuff. There's not a lot of news this week, to be completely honest. Well, there's a lot of news, just not a lot of news. Is that a word? Not a lot of news that I've selected. But anyway, anywho, right, let's get on with it, shall we? So, right, first up, the big news of the week, of the last couple of days. Obviously, everybody has heard about this, and it's very sad. James Earl Jones, distinguished actor and voice of Darth Vader, dies at 93. As I said the other day on the stream, when we found out about this, I hope I live to be 93, because it's a grand age, isn't it? It's a grand age, and there he is, the great man himself. So we'll read it. This is from Variety. Adam B. Vary and Carmel Dagan. I've just watched today, actually. I just watched the UFO incident. I found it on YouTube. It was just there on YouTube. So I thought, I'll watch the UFO incident. I've seen it before, where he plays Barney Hill, of the Barney and Betty Hill UFO abduction fame. So he plays a good part in that. Anyway. Right, James Earl Jones, the prolific film, TV and theatre actor whose resonant, unmistakable baritone was most widely known as the voice of Star Wars villain Darth Vader, died Monday morning at his home in Dutchess County, New York. His rep confirmed to Variety. He was 93. After overcoming a profound stutter as a child, Jones established himself as one of the pioneering black actors of his generation, amassing a bountiful and versatile career spanning over 60 years, from his debut on Broadway in 1958 at the Court Theatre, renamed the James Earl Jones Theatre in 2022, to his most recent performance in 2021's Coming to America, which I've not seen. I've seen the original, obviously, but I've never got around to watching Coming to America. And I don't know why, because it's on Amazon, innit? Anyway. For that film, Jones reprised his role as King Jaffe Joffer from the 1988 Eddie Murphy comedy Coming to America, one of several roles, along with Darth Vader, that Jones revisited, including the voice of King Mufasa in Disney's animated feature The Lion King in 1994, the 1998 direct-to-video sequel, and the 2019 remake, and CIA Deputy Director Vice Admiral James Greer in 3 Jack Ryan movies, 1990's The Hunt for Red October, 92's The Patriot Games, and 94's Clear and Present Danger. Among his more than 80 film credits, Jones's other notable movies include a B-52 bombardier in Stanley Kubrick's 1964 Cold War satire Dr. Strangelove, which I've never seen. I've never got round to watching that. Weird. I've never got round to watching it. his feature film debut as the first black president of the United States in 1972's The Man, as the fearsome villain in 1982's Conan the Barbarian. Anyway, less said about that the better. Actually, I didn't mind it. Was it the first one in my Monday Moan series? Films that I don't like, that are generally adored, that I don't like. I think that was the first episode, wasn't it, Conan the Barbarian? But I ended up thinking it were okay. Anyway, as a reclusive author in 1989's Field of Dreams, If You Build It They Will Come, as a blind former baseball star in 1993's The Sandlot, and as a minister living in apartheid South Africa in 1995's Cry the Beloved Country. And Dretch Tiger's here saying, "You." Hang on, sorry, Wingrace, I didn't notice you were replying to me there when I asked about all the news that's fit to stream. No, all the news that's fit to print is a famous slogan. Oh, pardon me, for the New York Times. All right, fair enough. I was paraphrasing it for you. Not having read the New York Times, not being American, I had no idea. But I have no idea about many things, even British things, because I'm an idiot. Jones was nominated for 4 Tony Awards and won 2 in 1969 for playing boxer Jack Johnson. I don't think it's a relation. In The Great White Hope, which he reprised on film in 1970, receiving his only Oscar nomination. That's a surprise, isn't it? Only 1 Oscar nomination in that career. And in 1987 for originating the role of Troy Maxson in August Wilson's Pulitzer Prize-winning drama Fences. He was nominated for 8 Primetime Emmy Awards, winning twice in 1991 for supporting actor in the miniseries Heatwave about the 1965 Watts riots, and for lead actor in the drama series Gabriel's Fire about a wrongfully imprisoned ex-cop who becomes a private detective. It was the first time an actor won 2 Emmys in the same year. Jones earned a Kennedy Center Honour in 2002, the Screen Actors Guild's Life Achievement Award in 2009, an honorary Oscar in 2011, and a Lifetime Achievement Tony Award in 2017. Wingrass says it's also great in Best of the Best. Again, another film I've not seen. Most of the films that he's been I've not seen. Oh dear. Because they weren't made for me, I suppose you could say. Anyway. An honorary Oscar in 2011 and a Lifetime Achievement Tony Award in 2017. His Grammar Award, I'll never get a Grammar Award. His Grammy Award in 1977 for Spoken Word album makes Jones only one of a handful of actors to receive an EGOT. Jones's looming yet ultimately affable presence and rich speaking voice made him a natural for Shakespeare, and he played some of the great roles such as Macbeth and Othello for Joseph Papp's American Shakespeare Festival. Jones narrated several documentaries from 1972's Malcolm X to the 2007 Disney nature doc Earth, and famously intoned the tagline, "This is CNN," for the cable news channel. His television credits, it's going to go on a while, is this, isn't it? His television credits, which number over 70, include many movies and miniseries such as Roots and The Atlanta Child Murders, recurring roles in LA Law, Homicide, Life on the Street, and Everwood. They don't mention Stargate, Wingrass, anyway. And guest roles on shows like Simpsons, Picket Fences, Law and Order, Frasier and House. Has he never done Star Trek? Surely he must have been in Star Trek at some point, but obviously not. As for his most famous role, Jones was paid $7,000 to lend his voice to Darth Vader in 1977's Star Wars A New Hope. Star Wars. But he declined screen credit for that film and its sequel, 1980's The Empire Strikes Back. You know what, I never realised he didn't have a screen credit. Or did they add it later? See, I'm going to have to look now. I'm going to have to watch them again and check. Out of deference to the actor who played the role on screen, David Prowse, who were miffed that they didn't use his voice. Here, George, why are you not using my voice as Darth Vader, eh? Because that's what he talked like. Oh dear. Remember, kids, look both ways when you cross the road. It was the Green Cross Code man on British television back in the 80s. By 1983's Return of the Jedi, however, Jones had become fully synonymous with one of the most memorable and terrifying villains in cinema history and received credit for his work. He returned to Vader's voice again for 2005's Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which is probably his only line, I think, was Padme, is she alive? Is she all right? Or whatever it is, something like that, doesn't it? And then the infamous no. And that was about it, really, wasn't it? Anyway, he did not, but he was considered to play Cisco early on. Was it? I didn't know that. He'd have been a great Cisco, wouldn't he? He'd have punched out Q as well, wouldn't he? Or force choked him. Where were we? Revenge of the Sith and 2016's Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. But for the 2022 Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jones instead authorised Lucasfilm to use archival recordings and AI technology to recreate Vader's voice. You'd think they'd be able to find somebody to do a good impression of him, though, wouldn't you? You'd think so. Anyway, when asked in 2014, because surely there's somebody that can do a good Darth Vader voice. Surely. But anyway. When asked in 2014 by the New York Times about how he'd kept his career alive for so long, Jones' response evoked the kind of plain-spoken humility that he had so often brought to his performances as well. The secret is never forgetting that you're a journeyman actor and that nothing is your final thing. Nothing is your... I'm trying to do his voice, but it's not working. Nothing is your greatest thing. Nothing is your worst thing, Jones said with a thing. I still consider myself a novice. James Earl Jones was born in 1931 on a farm in Arcabutler, Mississippi. Is that Mississippi? It will be, won't it? Well, not. Yeah, it will be. His father, Robert Earl Jones, because there's also Missouri, isn't there? I don't know. His father, Robert Earl Jones, left home soon after to pursue his own acting career. The two more or less reconciled when the younger Jones was in his 20s, and they even performed together. When Jones was 5, he moved with his maternal grandparents to Michigan. The shock of the relocation induced a stammer so severe that he often could communicate only in writing. It wasn't until high school when he started to overcome his stutter when his English teacher, upon learning that Jones composed poetry, encouraged him to read his writing aloud in class. So similar to the King's Speech, isn't it, really? Because, in the King's Speech, the King has a severe stutter and, he gets over it, doesn't he, in that? Anyway. As an undergraduate student at the University of Michigan, is it Michigan or Michigan? Michigan, we'll say. Missouri is abbreviated MO, as in Shoeless Joe from Hannibal MO. Well, yeah, but that just said Miss, didn't you? It wasn't. Is Mississippi just MS? I'm just guessing. But that Miss, that's not just the 2-letter abbreviation that we know and love. But anyway. But anywho, as an undergraduate student at the University of Michigan, Jones initially set out to study medicine, but wound up more interested in drama. His first stage role was a small part in the 1957 off-Broadway production Wedding in Japan. He took side jobs to supplement occasional theatre work in Broadway's Sunrise at Campobello, The Cool World and The Pretender. He also appeared in Summerstock. In 1960, Jones joined Pabst New York Shakespeare Festival. The following year, he made his first serious impact in the landmark off-Broadway production of Jean Genet's, that name rings a bell, Jean Genet's The Blacks, as the protagonist. Why did they say it like that? I don't know. As the protagonist, Deodatus, probably mispronouncing that as well. Afterwards, for Pap, he played Oberon in A Midsummer Night's Dream, the first of many heralded Shakespearean turns. His masterful 1964 performance as Othello for Pap was moved off Broadway, where the production ran for almost a year. Jones' first big break into cinema came by way of Pap's production of The Merchant of Venice, in which Jones played the Prince of Morocco to George C. Scott's Shylock. when Stanley Kubrick came to see Scott, whom he was considering for one of the leads in Doctor Strangelove. The film director was so impressed that he cast Jones in the film too. In 1966, Jones had the title role in Macbeth at the New York Shakespeare Festival, again to great acclaim. He also booked a recurring role on As the World Turns in 1966, marking the first time a black actor had a continuing role on a daytime soap opera. Still, he was almost one of Broadway's best-kept secrets until 1968 with his performance in Howard Sackler's The Great White Hope as Jack Johnson, the first black man to win the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship. I'll say he's related since he was a champion. Uncle Jack, I'll call him. The Tony, the acclaim and its timing. That came out wrong, didn't it? I'll start that again. The Tony, the acclaim and its timing in the late 60s propelled Jones into the spotlight at a time when it was difficult for black actors to secure quality roles. The actor, however, has said that the accolades he received for both of the play and its film adaptation did not do that much for his career. It wasn't until 1977, when Jones's voice terrified audiences for the first time as Darth Vader, that things truly began to shift for him. That same year, Jones also appeared in ABC's Roots, playing the author Alex Haley. Of course he did. I was trying to think. When I saw it, when I saw that he'd been in Roots, I was thinking, who did he play in Roots? Because I was thinking of, like Kunta Kinte and the slave people in Roots. And of course he played Alex Haley, didn't he, the author? Dear. Whose genealogical novel of the same title inspired the groundbreaking miniseries. He never quite became an outright star in the classic sense of the word, but the back-to-back successes that year did ultimately make Jones a household name, whose presence connoted a stature and gravitas to projects that might otherwise be lacking. Theatre is where Jones most frequently was a box office draw in his own right, and well into his 80s. He returned to Broadway in 2005 for a production of On Golden Pond opposite Leslie Uggams, drawing another Tony nomination. In 2008, he played Big Daddy in a production of Tennessee Williams' Cat on a Hot Tin Roof that featured an all-black cast including Terence Howard, Annika Noni Rose and Felicia Rashad. 2 years later, he returned to Broadway in a revival of Driving Miss Daisy opposite Vanessa Redgrave. The production's move to London in 2011. In 2011, meant he had to miss the honorary Oscars ceremony in Los Angeles. Instead, Sir Ben Kingsley surprised Jones with his statuette in person after he'd concluded a matinee performance of the show. Jones was first married to actress-singer Julianne Marie. His second wife of 34 years, actress Cecilia Hart, died in 2016. He's survived by his son Flynn Earl Jones. Is that it? Yes, that's it. There we go. So, a great man, and genuinely a legend, genuinely one of the most respected actors of this generation. And it's very sad he's gone, but 93 is a good age. We all knew it was coming, didn't we? We know that it's happening a lot lately, though, isn't it? A lot of people are popping the clogs, it seems. But anyway, so it's very, very sad. But as I said, a grand old age, and I hope I get to live that long. I don't think I will. Somehow. Might not make 60, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. Right, let's move on. Unfortunately, we're not moving on to happier things because we've got another sad news. But first, Wingris, there's a lot of people in their 50s and then a lot of people in their 90s. Yes, we're going to do a 50s one in a minute. Kind of an odd mix. Hope I don't end up being one of the 50s ones. Anyway. Right, here we go. I said, this next one, I had no idea who this person was, but I thought, well, Wingris will probably know him. So here he is. It's from Screen Rant. John Cassaday, iconic planetary, I can't bloody say it, astonishing X-Men and Star Wars artist, dies at 52. Fellow comic creators pay tribute, says Robert Wood on Screen Rant. So there we go. As I say, I'm not a comic person, so as I say, I'm not up on artists and authors. Anywho, iconic comic artist John Cassaday, whose work includes Planetary, Astonishing X-Men and Star Wars, has died at the age of 52. The creator's passing was confirmed on Facebook by his sister Robin Cassaday, who writes, "My little bro John passed away at 5:51 p.m. Texas time. Please keep me and my mom in your prayers." So 52, no age, is it? I don't know if it's going to say what he died of, I don't know. Cassaday's unique art is identifiable to comic fans at a glance, and the creator contributed to iconic series including Captain America, Lone Ranger, and Hellboy Weird Tales. Cassaday was a multi-time Eisner Award winner who worked with Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, and more. Here's some of his art. Let's have a look. It's obviously Star Wars. Cool. That's a proper artist. I like that one. That's a cool Captain America. Proper Captain America, that. And a good Batman as well. There's really good, isn't it? Hey. There we go, back to the beginning. Comic artists were quick to pay tribute to Cassaday, acknowledging his talent as an artist, impact on comics as an art form, and close personal ties. Batman writer Scott Snyder wrote that the impact of John Cassaday's work on myself and the whole industry is indelible. This is a tremendous loss to the comics community, while early collaborator Mark Waid writes, John Cassaday, I will say without hesitation and with very little fear of disagreement, was one of the best illustrators and storytellers to ever work in the comics medium. Like Neil Adams, Jim Steranko, or Michael Golden, he is a touchstone, a reference point to the dozens and dozens of artists whose work was influenced by his. Most people are lucky if more than a dozen people are still talking about them a month after they pass. My friend John will be talked about and remembered by an entire industry for ages. And I'm guessing that's John Cassaday, I'm guessing. Friends, colleagues and fans shared their love for Cassaday and his work on social media. Fellow comic luminaries Declan Shalvey, Bruno Redondo and Tom King credited Cassaday with changing their careers, with Shalvey, Alien Moon Knight, naming Cassaday as a major influence on his art style, while King, Batman and Wonder Woman, credits Cassaday's art for getting him back into the medium. Others shared personal stories of Cassaday, with artist Colleen Doran, the Sandman, Amazing Spider-Man, describing Cassaday as my sweet buddy, and Charles Soule, 8 billion genius Darth Vader, calling Cassaday a once-in-ever talent. And there's a tweet. There's going to be loads of tweets. Yes, and then there'll be loads of tweets. So Bruno Redondo says, John Cassaday, your Planetary was one of the most impactful comics to witness in real time of my life, and your Captain America and your incredible X-Men, and damn, such a huge loss, will read you forever. With an image. A cool image. Colleen Doran, another blow in a rough year. John Cassaday, my sweet buddy, beyond talented and kind, so kind and good. Can't believe it, you deserved 100,000 better tomorrows. Good night, my dear friend. And there we go, a nice photo. Christopher Golden. I'm going to have to highlight this yes, unbelievable. That was supposed to happen. Never mind. Good old internet. Bear with me, I'll sort it out. Oh, I've pressed the wrong thing. Here we go. There, we're back. Right. Truly shocked. Hang on, let's go back on here. Come on, you're going to come on. Well, it's not going to let us read that, is it? For Christ's sake. Oh, for Pete's sake, never mind. But I keep doing the wrong bloody thing. Right, never mind. We'll move on. Not move on the story, just move on to the next message of condolence. Tom King says, John Cassaday, spelled his name wrong. Out of comics in my 20s, in Iraq, got a package with his Planetary and Captain America, blew my mind, drew me back in, made me a fan once more. I wouldn't be here without that. Without his brilliance in person, he was as cool as his art, which is saying something. And there we go. I do like his Captain America. Declan Shalvey said, absolutely shocked to hear of John Cassaday's death. An amazing and compelling storyteller and a striking and innovative cover artist. Such an influence on my own work, I'm only now realising. Got to meet him once. Very cool guy. May he live on forever in the amazing work he gave us. How many is there? There's a lot in there. There's a lot. Check out the article. I'll not go through them all. We'll be here all blooming night. So there we go. Lots of... here we go, more of the article. John Cassaday's work is held in incredibly high regard by comic fans, with his Star Wars #1 with Jason Aaron becoming 2015's top-selling comic, and ultimately the best-selling single issue in 20 years per Forbes. Cassaday was also recognised with multiple awards, including multiple Eisner Awards for Best Penciler Inker, the Eagle Award for Favourite Comics Artist, Pencils, and the Wizard World Fan Award for Favourite Penciler. As well as an artist, Cassaday was also an actor and director, involved in projects including the 2012 horror film House on the Hill and sci-fi series Dollhouse. I quite like Dollhouse, it was alright. I don't know if I know House on the Hill. Not sure if I know that one. It's likely that tributes to Cassaday will appear in upcoming Marvel and DC comics, as has been the case for other creators who have passed away in recent years. With Planetary, Astonishing X-Men and Captain America, John Cassaday worked on some of the most beloved comic series in existence, with an incredible body of work that will continue to inspire other creators and thrill fans for decades to come. So there we go. Very sad. 52. Unbelievable. And it doesn't say what happened, so I'm sure it will come out. I'm sure we'll learn what he died of. Was he ill? I don't know. Did he have some condition? I don't know. Or was it an accident? Or what? I don't know. Oh, here we go. Wingrace says, I heard it was brain-related. Not sure exactly what that means. Did they have some sort of hemorrhage or something? Or a stroke or something like that? It could have been, couldn't it? Anywho, very sad. Very sad. No age. No age at all. Right. Let's move on. This time we can move on to happier things. Bit of Harry Potter. That's what we're going to look at now. Harry Potter. Here it is from Variety. Jordan Moreau. They've got an island somewhere. Is his dad a doctor? HBO's Harry Potter series opens casting call for Harry, Ron and Hermione. We are committed to inclusive, diverse casting. So Harry will be black, Ron will be East Asian, and Hermione will be Indian. Probably. No, I don't think they'll do that. Anywho, right, so there they are from the films. Right. The search for the next Harry, Ron and Hermione has begun. HBO has opened a casting call for the 3 stars of its upcoming Harry Potter TV series. Fans spotted the announcement circulating online Monday, and HBO confirmed its authenticity to Variety. I hope you are applying to play Hagrid. You're a wizard, Harry. I'm no Robbie Coltrane. The casting call is looking for children who will be between the ages of 9 and 11 in April 2025 who are residents of the UK and Ireland. The notice also says that casting will be inclusive to all races, ethnicities and gender identities. We are committed to inclusive, diverse casting, it reads. For every role, please submit qualified performers without regard to ethnicity, sex, disability, race, sexual orientation, gender identity, or any other basis protected by law, unless otherwise specifically indicated. They've got to say that, haven't they? But I don't think we'll be seeing Harry Potter in a wheelchair or something like that, or blind, a blind Harry Potter. I don't think we'll be seeing that. But you never know. Right, the application requires the actors to submit 2 short self-tapes, including a short poem or story, but nothing from Harry Potter. Quote, please prepare a short poem or story of your choosing. It can be from your favourite book, A poem that you love, a monologue from a play, or something you've created yourself. Please, nothing from Harry Potter. Why? Please use your own accent. 30 seconds maximum. Well, Robbie Coltrane didn't use his own accent, did he? Anyway, 30 seconds maximum, the casting call says. The second self-tape is a short video telling us a bit about yourself, including your date of birth, height, and where you live. In addition, please describe any family member, friend, or pet that you are particularly close to. Please, what? In case they need to use them as hostages or something. I don't. Please use your own accent. 1 minute maximum. Now then. Who's Jafaro? Hang on. Wingrace says, do they have to be British, though? Yes, it says Britain and Ireland, it said. Up here somewhere. Where did I see it? UK and Ireland. Who residents of UK and Ireland? Because, there we go. Right. Jafaro Nassan is saying, for God's sake, here we go. Very amusing. You're one of those, are you? You're one of those. Right, we'll get rid of you then. We'll get rid of you then, because you're an idiot. Oh, Wingrace, done it already for me, but it's still showing up on here. Right, we'll get rid of that then. Still showing up on there. Thank you, Wingrace, for getting rid of that idiot. Unbelievable. Right. See, even when I make it so that you've got to be subscribed for a certain length of time, you'll get somebody that subscribed a while ago and sneaks in. I don't even know what he's talking about. I genuinely don't know what he's talking about. It's bizarre. Anyway, right, back to this. The submission deadline is October 31st, and the casting call says the show will film in the UK during 2025 to 2026. There's no release date yet for the HBO series. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav said on this year's February earnings call that the show is targeting a 2026 release date. The show is expected to run for 7 seasons, with each adapting one of the books in J.K. Rowling's series. Yes, it's Rowling, not Rowling. Anyway, Francesca Gardner, who produced Succession, His Dark Materials, and Killing Eve, I've seen Killing Eve, that's all I've seen of them, will showrun and executive produce the Harry Potter series. Fellow Succession alum Mark Mylod will also executive produce and direct multiple episodes. So there we go. So they're getting on with it, aren't they, by the sounds of it? But what will Harry, Ron, and Hermione end up being like? I don't know. We will see, won't we? We will see. Will they be diverse? I mean, the cast is quite diverse anyway, isn't it? In the films it was, anyway. Not read the books. I've got the first 5 books. I started reading Philosopher's Stone. Didn't really like it, so I didn't bother. But anyway. Right, so let's move on. What's next? Star Wars. Before that, Hermione has always been black outside of the movies, so I assume they will stick with that. She was in that play, wasn't she? The Cursed Child, something like that, isn't it? They cast a black Hermione for that. But in the book, she's not described as black, is she? But anyway. It's up to J.K. Rowling, isn't it, in the end, I suppose. She'll probably have the last say. But we will see. We will see what happens. Right, next up, Star Wars. From NME, Issy van der Velde, cool name. Star Wars Outlaws will fix unfair problem with new patch coming next week. Remember, last week I told you that I'd been and bought it for Aidan for his birthday. He might be listening. Cost me, for peeps' sake. Did it. Just bear with me. We've got idiots back. I'm gonna have to. I don't understand why. Why are they picking on me? Baffling. Anyway, never mind. Where was I? Oh, I bought it for Aidan for his birthday. Got it last week, and it was like full price. I think for like the special edition or anything, it cost like an arm and a leg. But it was 57 quid. So I thought I'll get it from because I thought it's a AAA game. I thought it'll keep its price for a while. Went this week when I went shopping, saw it on the shelf, 40 quid. Unbelievable. Anyway, whatever. Right, Star Wars Outlaws. Right, here we go. There's is she wearing Lando's clothes there? Looks like it, doesn't it? Right, Star Wars Outlaws launched just over 2 weeks ago, and the developers are already working on fixing some missions that feel unfair. I think Maul has been playing it. Well, he has. Not. I don't think he has. I know he has. Maul has been playing it and found a lot of things wrong with it. But anyway. Ubisoft's open world Star Wars game has a variety of mission types, but one has been deemed unfair: the instant fail stealth missions. Well, you know how I feel about stealth stuff. If you've been watching me Far Cry 4 playthrough, bloody hate stealth. You're probably thinking of one of the early missions in Miragana, which is incredibly punishing. Star Wars Outlaws creative director Julian Gerety told Games Radar Plus. And for me, that is a mistake, and this is something that we're going to work on improving. I don't think it means removing the fail state completely, but I do think there are millions of low-hanging fruits where we can make it so much more enjoyable and understandable. Many games have historically had stealth missions that fail instantly if the player is detected, but having to start any level over from scratch soon becomes frustrating for people. In order to fix these missions, Gerety said, we're correcting already for a patch that's coming out maybe in 10 days. That was said on September 7th, so we could see that patch early next week, September 17th. Here we go again. Director Matthias Carlson said the aim is to keep players in that knife-edge range between, okay, I'm completely in stealth, oh shit, they're about to see me, they saw me, but I can still do something about it. As long as I don't raise the alarm, I can create chaos locally to be able to avoid that happening. Other solutions include tweaking narrative context within missions so that there are fewer stormtroopers in stealth missions because they've been sent to new posts or have other reasons for not being as present. And that doesn't care about that. So very good. So they're fixing a stealth thing where you essentially you fail a stealth mission instantly by the looks of it, which I usually do anyway. So there we go. But speaking of Ubisoft, I think the next one's about Ubisoft. I think it is. Yes, here we go. Speaking of Ubisoft, because after the game released, Star Wars Outlaws, they lost 10% in their stock value, did Ubisoft. But anywho, hang on, I'll put it up. Here it is, from Rock Paper Shotgun. Does it have a byline? Edwin Evans Thirlwell. Bet he's posh. Ubisoft investor wants to dethrone Ubisoft's founders, so Ubisoft... Oh, for God's sake. Where's that coming from? I have no idea. Never mind. Just bear with me. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Go away. Oh, Grace sorted it out first. Thank you. Hey, dear. They've waited patiently, haven't they? These idiots. There's people coming on saying nasty things about me. They obviously don't know. They're either bots or they're just idiots. Well, they're probably just idiots. They don't know anything about me from what they've said. The things that they said, they don't know anything. But I don't know what's up with them. I don't know. There's obviously nothing better to do. And they're obviously retarded. Anyway, right, so where were we? Ubisoft investor wants to dethrone Ubisoft founders so Ubisoft can lay more developers off. Tencent and the Guillemots are holding shareholders hostage. Right, is that a bit small? It is, isn't it? Let's make it a bit bigger. There we Commence Star Wars rolling prologue screen. A minority Ubisoft investor has written an open letter to Ubisoft's board outlining their deep dissatisfaction with the current performance and strategic direction of the company and threaten a full-blown coup against the Guillemot brothers. That's how I'm pronouncing it. Ubisoft's founders and their backers at Chinese juggernaut Tencent. And it should be 4 dots after that, shouldn't it? Anyway. In the letter, via gamesindustry.biz, I'm going to mispronounce this, Juraj Krupa of Slovakian hedge fund AJ Investments and Partners cites the delaying of future instalments of Rainbow Six Siege and The Division, together with a lowered revenue outlook for Q2 2024, as cause for shareholder upset, noting that Ubisoft's share price has fallen by over 40% since last year. Accordingly, Krupa wants the board to take Ubisoft private or allow it to sell to strategic investor who will get new air into Ubisoft's video games by, amongst other things, carrying out a bunch of layoffs. They're giving the board 60 days to reply. It all sounds very boring, doesn't it? But anyway, unless you work there. AJ Investments are even now talking to other shareholders with a view to overthrowing the Guillemots. Probably mispronouncing that. They're going to use the French minority law to collect enough shareholders to start a proxy fight and initiate sale process of Ubisoft to increase shareholder value for all shareholders. I thought they were Canadian. I thought they were French-Canadian. But anyway, whatever. In particular, Krupa is calling for long-term CEO Yves Guillemot to be given the boot. The main reason why the valuation is so low compared to the peers is that Ubisoft at current state is mismanaged and shareholders are hostages of Guillemot family members and Tencent who take advantage of them. The letter reads, management is focused on pleasing investors with beating quarterly results and not focusing on long-term strategy to provide exceptional experience for the gamers. AJ Investments appear to be new kids on the block as Ubisoft minority shareholders. According to Krupa, we started our Ubisoft position a couple weeks ago and are still adding to it. Blah, 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 blah. How's this going on for? Right. Beyond that, AJ Investments want Ubisoft's current management gone. So basically, they want a change of management because Ubisoft, they think's not doing as well as they should be. Anyway, so there we go. That was boring. I didn't want to read that. Anyway, so there you go. We'll see what happens, eh? Probably nothing, because Ubisoft's one of the biggest publishers out there, aren't they, and developers. But anyway, that was boring. Moving on. What's next? Where are we? There we go. Bear with me. I'm just sorting stuff out. Sorry. I'm just reporting people. Wouldn't normally do it, but I'm doing it now. Did it. Mess with me, you'll get messed back. Not that the real accounts or anything, but, whatever. Was there any more? That'll do. Right, where were we? Oh, yes, here we go. Carrying on. Right, Star Wars. Here we go. Rogue was from Slash Film, Ryan Scott. Rogue One's Peter Cushing CGI resurrection sparked a Star Wars lawsuit 8 years later. And there he is in Rogue One. It wasn't the best, was it? It was fine. It looked okay. But anyway. Disney and Lucasfilm are staring down the barrel of a lawsuit related to the Star Wars franchise, and it all stems from a movie that was released in theatres nearly 8 years ago. Director Gareth Edwards' Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, was released in December 2016 as the second film in the franchise to arrive in the aftermath of Disney's purchase of Lucasfilm. Now, a lawsuit has been filed having to do with the film's CGI recreation of the late Peter Cushing as Grand Moff Tarkin. So why is this legal action happening all these years later? Here's what happened. Cushing, who played Tarkin in 1977's Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. This is getting on my nerves. Come on, refresh. Right, here we go. Oh, hang on, it's already been done. Wingrace is done. I'm going to report the user. Sorry. Right, where were we? I forgot what it was. So why is this legal action happening all these years later? Here's what happened. Cushing, who played Tarkin in 1977's Star Wars, died at the age of 81 in 1994. Now, producer Kevin Francis and his company Tyburn Film Productions, was it Tyburn that did Blood on Satan's Claw? I'm sure it was. Back in the 70s. Anyway, is pursuing legal action, which Peter Cushing wasn't in. They did other things as well. Did they do? No, that was something else. It's pursuing legal action for the CGI recreation of Cushing's likeness in Rogue One via Euronews. Specifically, Tyburn is taking legal action against Lunac Heavy Industries, which is owned by Disney. As far as the legal grounds go, Tyburn claims that he entered an agreement with Cushing before his death, and that agreement prevented the reproduction of his appearance without its consent. Disney, meanwhile, does not believe that it needed consent to recreate Tarkin based on the language in Cushing's contract for Star Wars. What's more, Disney paid Cushing's estate to use his likeness in the film. It's a complicated situation that has apparently been bubbling up behind the scenes. That brings us to now. A court in the UK denied Disney's request to have the case thrown out. It's happening a lot to Disney lately, isn't it, that? Judge Tom Mitchison ruled that he is not persuaded Tyburn will win the case. He added, however, that he is not persuaded that the case is unarguable to the standard required to give summary judgment or to strike it out. Mitchison also noted that this is developing legal territories, which complicates matters. Just bear with me. This is doing my nutting. Just disrupting the bloody stream there. Come on, why isn't it refreshing? Cheers, Wingrace. Anywho, where were we? I forgot where I was. Mitchison also noted that this is developing legal territories which complicates matters. This is going to be the last live news. I'm not putting up with this now anymore. It could be the last live stream. If they've done this now, they've waited 4 weeks, haven't they? I put 4 weeks. They've obviously subscribed 4 weeks ago. They've waited that long. I'm not putting up with it. You've won. Okay. I'm just going to go to, like I said last time, I'm just shit to them. They can sod off. You've won. Fair enough. In fact, I'm ending this stream now because I've had enough. I'm too upset and angry. This is what happened last time. The other news was... so they're taking them to court. That'll probably not work. Other news, Mila Jovovich, Resident Evil, who cares? Gene Roddenberry, Hated Family, the episode of Star Trek. There we go. That's the news. That's it. Done. Thanks to the idiots. So we'll leave it there. I'm not even going to bother with the timestamps and stuff like that, so I'm just going to delete all that. Right, off we go. So we'll leave it there. Thanks, Win Grace. Hang on. Are you sure it's set to subscriber chat? Yes, I'm positive. I will double check. But I'm pretty certain I set it to either 4 weeks or 2 weeks. I was going to move it about a bit, but just let me double check. Where have I put it? Oh, there we are. Right. 2 weeks. I set it for 2 weeks for this stream. So there's obviously been subscribers for 2 weeks, at least. So there we go. Anyway, but I'm not putting up with this every time now. They can shite. So I'm just going to pre-record things now. Maybe if I'm a member, I don't know. I have no idea. But it is really annoying. And obviously, let's say it's just idiots. They don't know anything about me. They don't even know where I'm from. Because they're putting the wrong towns down. They don't even know, about my son. They're saying the wrong things about my son. They don't know anything about him. So there we go. They're just idiots. But it's too disruptive. So anyway, we'll leave it there. I've had enough. Not doing any more. There we go. So thank you, idiots. You've ruined another stream. So we'll leave it there. So I'm going to go and be angry behind the scenes. So thanks for watching. Thanks, Win Grace, by the way. You're a superstar for dealing with them, for me. But it's too annoying for me to see. I were hoping, if I made you a moderator, that you could have dealt with it and I could have just carried on, but it didn't work in like that, so never mind. So I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are, unless you're one of the idiots. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say I'm not even going to do an outro. I'm just going to go to black because I'm pissed off. So see you later.